This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Thursday, June 19th. Sunny and warm today in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The high will be 98. Clear and very humid this evening with a low of 77. Here are today's headlines. Dallas has chosen to overhaul Fair Parks management and terminate its contract with Fair Park First, the 277-acre park's nonprofit manager, and its subcontractor, Oak View Group, which operates the park. The move comes after revelations last year that restricted donor funds were misspent on park operations. The city's termination notice gives Oak View Group 90 days to vacate the premises, but the city will still be looking for a nonprofit partner to handle the fundraising for the capital projects in the park. The city will take over operations of the park once again after first relinquishing the responsibility back in 2019. Park officials will now oversee day-to-day operations and bring in new vendors for large and small events year-round. Fair Park First's board chair Valletta Forsyth-Lill told the news that the nonprofit will stay at the park and transition into a conservancy model to continue raising funds for the buildings and long-promised community park. The entities were still in mediation to recover the $5.7 million in misspent donor funds, and she hoped that they would have found a solution to the missing dollars. But the first step was to correct the contract, which meant ending its relationship with Fair Park First in order to change its contract with Oak View Group. The venue management company, which also oversees the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center, did not immediately respond for a request for comment. In other news, a new variant of COVID-19 is spreading across the U.S., causing a painful symptom dubbed razor blade throat. COVID variant NB181, nicknamed Nimbus, accounts for more than a third of COVID cases in the U.S. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. First detected in January of this year, the World Health Organization said the strain has been detected in at least 22 countries and is on the rise worldwide. In the U.S., it has been confirmed in California, Washington State, Virginia, and New York. It is unclear if Texas has seen any cases. The state's figures were last updated May 10th on the CDC's website. Nationwide, Nimbus accounted for 37% of COVID cases from May 25th to June 7th, more than double its share from the previous 2 weeks, according to the CDC. The Omicron variant was slightly more common at 38%. Painful sore throats have been a common symptom of previous COVID strains, but Nimbus is gaining attention for what some describe as excruciating pain. Patients have likened the sensation to swallowing razor blades or shards of glass. Other symptoms include fatigue, cough, fever, muscle aches, and congestion. In a report released last month, the WHO says it is monitoring the strain, but that it does not appear to pose an additional public health threat compared to other variants. COVID vaccines are effective in preventing the Nimbus strain. Confusion about who will be eligible to get a vaccine this fall is growing, though. Last month, U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that COVID vaccines are no longer recommended for healthy children and pregnant women, a move questioned by some public health experts. Next up, Oscar Restrepo and Maria Martinez were driving their youngest daughter to a doctor's appointment at Children's Hospital in Plano when the phone rang. It was the couple's oldest daughter, the 23-year-old who has developmental disabilities that limit her cognitive functioning, had been using Dallas area Rapid Transit's Paratransit service to get to her part-time job at Lowe's for about 3 years. But her trip on June 6, 2022, would be her last. Between sobs, she told her parents that the driver who dropped her off had sexually assaulted her. The Dallas Morning News generally does not name victims of sexual assault. It's not the first time a DART driver has been accused and later convicted of assaulting a passenger with disabilities. In a lawsuit against the transit agency and its former paratransit partner, MV Transportation, the family's attorneys argue it's an incident that could have and should have been prevented. The lawsuit suggests a troubling pattern of abuse by drivers employed by DART's partners or subcontractors that stretches back more than a decade. It also raises concerns about the Paratransit network's training, as well as its oversight of subcontractors. In an email to the news, DART declined to address the allegations, citing pending litigation. There's a lot more to this article, and you can read it at dallasnews.com. And in a massive labor win for the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, the dancers say they will receive a 400% pay raise for the upcoming season. The wage increase was revealed in the second season of the squad's Netflix docuseries America's Sweethearts, which dropped on Wednesday. During Season 2, some of the dancers expressed dismay with their contracts not reflecting the team's prominence in pop culture. Some squad members said they juggled several jobs to make ends meet. The issue of fair pay also came up in the first season of the Netflix series. Charlotte Jones, executive vice president of the Cowboys, acknowledged then the cynicism around how much NFL dancers were compensated. She also suggested that money was not top of mind for aspiring team members, a remark that received some backlash online. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.